Welcome everybody to the next round of the Sprunk Xtreme One Cup. I am very excited today. We are on the Daytona track with an awesome field of 9 today. Really, really exciting here. I can't believe the competition that has been brought to this race. We're gonna pull this back today. We're gonna start off with Shakur in the 3rd place position. Remember that this is a 25 lap race. Slipstream is on, catch-up is off, but standard racing. So we're going to make sure everybody's pulled together here. All right, so we're going to get everybody nice and tight here for this start. Last week we had that happen and got some distance on it, and nobody was able to really get caught up. So we didn't want to do that again this week. So we're going to do it like this, and it's 2 wide for the start. Let's see how they roll with this. There we go, and it has begun. It's going to be when we did testing today, it was almost a crash fest right off the bat. But everybody was able to pull it together. It looks like it's going to be another one of those heated competitions. Remember with Slipstream, people get to put into different areas of each other. The track today is called the Daytona Attempt. Somebody tried to design Daytona, and I really liked how it came out. It was a really kind of a tight track, but you can see here 3 wide as we go into this 3rd turn here. That it gives enough room to really work well, and the testing was amazing. I really was happy with it. One of the courses we had somebody win. It was so close that the winner's fate. Oh, now we got to spin. Shakur has once again been involved in a spin, and he's not happy about it. If the camera would cooperate with us, we'd be able to show a better version of how that happened. But we've heard this horn all day today. I guess we're gonna continue to hear it. I have no idea whose horn that is, but it's pretty funny. So I really like that horn. Oh, somebody went low on the track there. That's Juxtree. So that's anytime 4 wheels leave the track, it's a deduction in points. So Juxtree's going to get a deduction. And you can tell Team Chris already knows that. Now I'm going to check that later to make sure if he was forced down the track, we will not be taking that point. But that's the thing is, I think that we went into that turn about 3 or 4 wide. So he might we actually let him slide. Oh, that was close. So basically what happens is that basically from the slipstream concept here, it allows you to pull the other person forward. For those of you, if you don't play GTA, you don't race a lot. Unlike catch-up slows the first place guy down. A slipstream allows you to get in behind somebody, and there's going to be a slipstream effect, and it pulls the other across. So you get this kind of like, I want to call it a domino effect, where these guys get lined up. You'll see it happen. It kind of rolls together. See that little there? I wish we could kind of see the stream in the way we do the overhead of this. But you can't really catch it. But what happens is you'll see them kind of pack into their 4-pack there. And then one guy will go high, one guy will go low. And then they'll kind of go 4 wide for a second. And then they get in the turn, they kind of flatten out. Because the low line is usually a little bit faster, but the slipstream can pull them forward. So it really is how they handle it. Sometimes you have to get off the gas there. Sometimes you just want to, if you're a high line guy, you want to keep that throttle in as hard as you can to try to get around that lower place guy. And that's the thing is it makes an interesting competitive way of people that roll against each other to see how they want to fight it out here. So we got first to 4th here. I hate moving away because the second I move it away, we have an accident. But we're going to have to here. I think we're going to go back to Chewy real quick. Chewy, the iFruit. Oh, he went low there again. We're going to go back to Chewy because the iFruit guy here, the host of the iFruit, looks like he's got another pack. I want to see how far off they are from this main pack here. And it looks like Rhymes has got his group, so the other group guys are kind of left out to dry here, but Rhymes could make something happen. They could catch up. And it looks like we got another. They're bumping and rubbing up here, so I want to go back to that position and see if we lost anybody in the mix. Well, there was a crash, and we missed it. Go back to Jux real quick. So last time we had that happen, we had people kind of get in their positions and roll back. So we got the two guys up there. So there's Juxry. So we got Andrew, Team Chris. So Team Chris, points leader once again in the first place position. And there's Chewy has caught up with that group. Now they're going to have a slipstream group, and these other guys are not going to have that. So how is this going to pull together is the real question. And Juxry's kind of lagging a little bit here. You can tell him kind of roll up and down. It looks like he's kind of floating on the map. So can they keep up with this group up here? See, it's really, now it's the point is it's like, see, there's Shaney. Now Shaney goes in hard. Chewy's got a ton of momentum there. That's the momentum you want to use to catch back up to that main pack, and they're definitely doing it. Yeah, you can see Juxry's kind of popping around. I want to jump over to, I think, Shaney here. Up top. Yeah, he's got a bad, something's going on. Yeah. His slipstream's still working, though, so you got to be careful because he could throw up into those other guys. Team Chris is up there all by her lonesome, trying to run that car as hard as she can. Can they catch up is the question. It's like, you want to pull those areas together, or are they gonna? Oh, Shaney gets tapped by Jux. That was the strongest guy in that setup right there because Jux is having issues, I think. So Rhymes and Chewy right now are gonna have to make something happen here. When Andrew is not somebody who's gonna let it slide, he's gonna try to get it. So there's Team Chris with Andrew. Look at DeathPercepshun at the 47.199. That was a crushingly fast lap. It just seems like that's how it goes. Like, Team Chris had best lap and made the pole today, but Death is always the one that ends up with that fastest lap. Like, he really knows how to run the track. They need good partners here, and that banging together is not going to help them. It slows them down a lot. So we probably got two more races here, and then we have one more track I want to try out. If that track doesn't work, we'll slip right into Pendulous. The Pendulous 24 minutes, which is a supercar race that will be for the final. That's the point when we run in with the final 15. And the final 15 is the characters that the drivers that we see here. People have qualified as drivers that we want to have on the racing series. These are, we're going to use the words competitive, and what we're going to do is once you've done Pendulous, you can show that you can run a car a certain way, that you know enough about a car. It's like a lot of people will say they know a lot, they're really, really fast, but then their skill level does not allow them to really run with a competitive field. They don't know how to make par. They don't know how to be a competitive player. Just know how to turn up to 10, which in my opinion is not skilled. We need skilled guys that know how to basically turn it up when they need to and turn it down when they need to, and set their scores so they can be in a competitive field of 15. And those 15 players that get their approval rating go into the race itself and are able to compete. It is 18 plus. But once, like I said, they make that area, they're gonna be able to compete with the race and go for the atomic. Atomic is which we call traditional tracks. So you end up racing in events where the tracks are like well known. We're gonna have stuff like Monaco and Laguna Seca, things of that nature. The recreations on the track. Nothing, obviously. I don't think Rockstar's ever done anything official. It would be nice to see them do something official. But some of the things that I've seen with some of their other tracks, it's nothing against them, but it's like, I'd rather you not try. Because with some of the corners, they get rough. They get really bouncy. And it's one thing I really didn't like about some of the other competitions that we did with the bumpy corners. It gets rough to race in it. So it looks like we're going to move up to Rhymes, because Rhymes has moved up and kind of left him behind. Oh, Juxtree tried to help fix him, but it didn't work. And Chewy and Juxtree missed his thing back there. That's going to leave Chewy. Wow. Gigantic changes going on here. And these guys we're going to drop right up to Andrew. This is it. It's down to the top two right at this point. So can Andrew catch up with Team Chris? So let's look at the numbers here. 4.348. Death with the still fastest lap of the 46. Look at that. That is fast. Sneaky with a 46.864. Man, those guys are teammating it right there. Let's go back and look at him real quick. So they're on lap 15, so I got time here to jump back. I'm gonna see. Let's see where Death is. There you go. I don't know how he's not catching up. Like, you should be, with those lap times you're turning, you should be in the lead. And of course, here's Sneaky. So he's taking a high line around the track. So here he's gonna grab that slipstream with him and pull himself around. And then Sneaky's going to drop right back in him. This is what we're going to call good teamwork here, I can bet. So he takes a low line. And then Death drops right in behind him. But for some reason, they just haven't been able to make a difference. It's pretty bad. I mean, these are two skilled racers and not having any luck there. But in the same speed wise, Team Chris has got a solid lead and is just kind of getting into a rhythm here, and she's just cycling laps. 47.348. Oh, look at that, 47.315. So there is, it looks like, and I can see from here, there is some catching up to do. But there's plenty of time to make that difference up and overtake that first position if he can continue running those race laps the way he's doing right now. And that low line has been everybody's kind of bread and butter. It was kind of happened in practice. It was funny because Death's running a better line with that high line. But what happened in the original practice run was everybody stuck to that low line. And it looked like the logical line to do. I think that the middle kind of taking one lap down, moving it up, moving it back down is probably the best line on the track. But that's the thing is you kind of get in a rhythm of sticking to your guns with a race. You want to kind of do what works, and you kind of see the distance kind of closing, so you feel it. But what's really happening is you're losing tenths of a second a lap, one way or the other. So that thing is, it looks like both of them are doing it. So it really is a game of who can get there first. Leaving it totally up to chance, I guess. I probably would try some other lines to kind of see where my laps are, but really they don't have a spotter to let them know who's running, what line they're running for the fastest lap. To kind of put you out in the middle of the forest and says, okay, make it work. And you kind of drive it in and hope it'll stick. And that's the beauty of this, is that most of these guys can just turn it up to 10 and race it. And it really is about racing clean. That's the thing that we learn very, very early on that the racers that were unable to keep themselves from crashing into other people didn't just crash those other players, but they also crashed themselves. You see Juxtree off the track there? And that's I mean, you end up taking your race out with it. So one thing we're going to kind of try to do with the next series is I've always been wanting to do this is kind of feature racers that are high in points and have kind of a little thing that features them at the beginning of every competition that we do. I think it would be fun to do is to have like a little overlay with the points leader to kind of get you guys acclimated to understanding who the points leaders are, how they're set up. So there's Sakura dropping. But that thing is I wanted you to be able to see that, kind of get introduced to these guys. All these guys in this competition are really cool people. They're great to talk with, and obviously, you know, we've been racing with these guys for a lot of these guys for years. I mean, probably 2015 for some of these guys, like Juxtree and Sneaki Gyraffe. Sneaki Gyraffe created the Atomic World Challenge. He and I worked very closely to make this championships what they are. Chewy there created iFruit, which became Sprunk. A lot of those guys ended up doing other things, and the beauty is they've been able to come back and continue to compete, and we've had some amazing races. We go back and forth. I mean, if you see the races in the past, you'll see guys that are that come in and come out. And some of them we've had problems with some players, and sometimes we get them in and we're glad to have them, and they just stick around forever. And it's from time to time when they get them, like one of our first guys was local Carlos, first Los Santos champion in sports class, and kind of set the stage for where we were going to be going with Sport GT and all of its associated championships and races. And that's it. We started off on car shows. We started doing car shows, and those things are always pretty much open to anybody that wants to show up. It's a car show, drag race style event, and then we do some impromptu racing. And the players can win certain areas of the map, and it's a big competition that'll go along the entire year. It's a lot of fun to play with. So it's not just racing that we do. There's a lot of other things. So I would love to be able to show those maybe down the road. I will actually stream some of those events. I did like streaming the drag racing and showing it to people. So if you see it on the page there, you'll know where that came from. And it's a lot of fun. It's been something we've done for a long time. A lot of clubs, you see them kind of die off. And, I mean, here we are. Good God. It's like, 4 or 5 years later, still going strong, still hosting races. So there's DeathPercepshun, who has crashed off the track. His car is upside down. And we have a war of attrition going on here right now. We've obviously lost one. Death still has the best lap with the 46, Sneaky with a 46.8. But it looks like we're down to 2. And there's Shaney. Where's Shaney at? Shaney has closed up some distance here. Let's see how far off he is. So he's here with RhymeswithTape. Rhymes has been looking for a strong sidearm here to kind of shake and bake him up to the front there. And to be honest, after those front two guys need somebody to shake them loose too. See, they've been 47.315. They got a tie for best lap. That shows you how identical their lap times are when it comes to how they're racing. And that's the thing is, like I said, remember before, I said you feel like you're kind of getting ahead, and in reality, you're not. So that's the thing is, these guys back here with 47.2 and a 46.995 from Shaney have been slipstreaming, and they've been making time. And unlike Atomic, there's no par time for this race. It's just these are the cars that compete against each other. And they do a great job of competing. That's the beauty of any of these races you guys host. I know it seems very difficult when you host them. And that's the thing is I wanted to really kind of talk to players and say, really, one of the biggest secrets you can have to this is having good players who just, race in your championships or race in your races, and they are always consistent, always constant. Like, you can see accidents happen. And, yeah, we had guys that are, get kind of grumpy about it, if you will. But nobody, like, really yells or does their thing. They just kind of, they know each other. So there's that. That was the end of it. So there's Team Chris is able to continue with her lead. AndrewlzShady. There's Shaney and RhymeswithTape fooling it up with the 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see who's in 5th position here, and we'll drop down to them. That's Sneaki Gyraffe. Oh, I guess we're already... Nope, I don't want to quit that. So here's Sneaki Gyraffe trying to make it around with his 9 seconds left. I don't think he's going to make it, but he is kind of looking down the gun of the finish line. It was so close, but didn't happen. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We probably got one more race left. This has been a great race from Sprunk Xtreme One Cup. This is your host, VIPPrimo, saying thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit some of those other shows icons. We'd be happy to have you later. Have a great day and good night.